These are the tragic stories of actresses who captivated audiences with their talent and beauty, only to have their lives cut short, leaving behind unfulfilled potential and the question of what might have been. Brittany Murphy was buried after she died from pneumonia in December 2009 at age 32. The beloved actress from Clueless and 8 Mile laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills in the Bright Eternity section on Christmas Eve. The actress collapsed in her Los Angeles home and was pronounced dead at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. The Los Angeles County coroner determined the cause of death was pneumonia, with secondary factors of iron deficiency anemia and multiple drug intoxication. Her private funeral service on December 24, 2009 was attended by family and close friends. Her grave sits at 6,300 Forest Lawn Drive, with fans regularly visiting to leave flowers, notes, butterflies, and lipstick kisses. The tragedy deepened when her husband Simon Monjack died 5 months later from the same causes in the same house. The home where both died has since been demolished. Marilyn Monroe was buried after she died from barbiturate overdose in August 1962 at age 36. The legendary blonde bombshell laid to rest at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery in a crypt purchased by her ex-husband, Joe DiMaggio. Monroe was found dead in her Brentwood home on August 5, 1962, with the death ruled a probable suicide, though conspiracy theories have persisted for decades. Her funeral on August 8th, in 1962, was limited to 31 guests at DiMaggio's insistence. DiMaggio arranged for fresh roses to be delivered to her crypt 3 times a week for 20 years after her death. Monroe's crypt is in the Corridor of Memories, with the simple marker reading, Marilyn Monroe, 1926 to 1962, becoming one of the most visited grave sites in Los Angeles. Fans leave flowers, lipstick kisses on the marble, and notes declaring their love. Natalie Wood was buried after she died from drowning in November 1981 at age 43. The 3-time Oscar nominee laid to rest at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery, following a funeral attended by Hollywood's elite. Wood drowned on November 29, 1981, after going overboard from the yacht Splendor while anchored off Catalina Island with her husband Robert Wagner, Christopher Walken, and the boat's captain. Her body was found floating in the water, wearing a nightgown, socks, and a down jacket. The official cause was accidental drowning and hypothermia, though the case was reopened in 2011 after the boat's captain changed his story. Wood was buried at Westwood Memorial Park, her grave becoming a pilgrimage site for fans who remember her roles in Rebel Without a Cause, West Side Story, and Splendor in the Grass. Sharon Tate was buried after she was murdered in August 1969 at age 26. The actress and wife of Roman Polanski laid to rest at Holy Cross Cemetery in Culver City, California, with her unborn son, Paul Richard Polanski, buried in her arms. Tate and 4 others were brutally murdered on August 9, 1969, at 150 Cielo Drive by Charles Manson's cult members. Tate was stabbed 16 times while 8.5 months pregnant. The killers were Charles Tex Watson, Susan Atkins, and Patricia Krenwinkel. Her funeral was attended by devastated husband Roman Polanski, who was in London at the time of the murders. Her mother Doris Tate spent the rest of her life advocating for victims' rights and attending every parole hearing for the killers. Tate's death remains one of Hollywood's most tragic and infamous murders. Aaliyah Houghton was buried after she died in a plane crash in August 2001 at age 22. The R&B singer and actress laid to rest at Ferncliff Cemetery in Hartsdale, New York, following funeral services attended by thousands. Aaliyah died on August 25th. In 2001, when the twin-engine Cessna 402 crashed shortly after takeoff from Marsh Harbor Airport in the Bahamas. The overloaded plane went down, killing all 9 people aboard. Investigation revealed the pilot had cocaine and alcohol in his system and falsified documents. Her funeral on August 31, 2001, at St. Ignatius Loyola Roman Catholic Church drew 22 people inside with 800 mourners outside, with her silver casket drawn by horse-drawn carriage. She was buried wearing her favorite Givenchy clothes. Her death robbed the world of an artist just beginning to show her full potential. Jean Harlow was buried after she died from kidney failure in June 1937 at age 26. The platinum blonde movie star laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale in the Great Mausoleum's Sanctuary of Benediction. Harlow died on June 7, 1937, at Good Samaritan Hospital after falling ill during filming of Saratoga with Clark Gable. She had been suffering from uremic poisoning resulting from acute nephritis. Her mother, a Christian Scientist, initially resisted medical treatment. William Powell paid for her funeral and the elaborate crypt. She was placed in the private sanctuary of Benediction. Harlow had been Hollywood's original blonde bombshell and biggest sex symbol of the 1930s. Her death at just 26 shocked the entertainment world. Subscribe reminder. If you're enjoying this journey through Hollywood history, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more stories of stars gone too soon. Natasha Richardson was buried after she died from an epidural hematoma in March 2009 at age 45. The Tony Award-winning actress from the legendary Redgrave family laid to rest at St. Peter's Episcopal Cemetery in Lithgow, New York. Richardson suffered a traumatic brain injury during a skiing lesson at Mont Tremblant Resort in Quebec when she fell and initially declined medical attention. Within hours, she complained of a severe headache and was transported to hospitals where she was declared brain dead. The private funeral on March 22, 2009 at St. Peter's Episcopal Church was attended by Ralph Fiennes, Alan Rickman, Laura Linney, Uma Thurman, and Timothy Dalton. Husband Liam Neeson served as one of 6 pallbearers. She was laid to rest near her maternal grandmother, actress Rachel Kempson. Her death raised awareness about traumatic brain injuries. Rebecca Schaeffer was buried after she was murdered in July 1989 at age 21. The My Sister Sam actress shot and killed by an obsessed fan at her Los Angeles apartment, her death leading to America's first anti-stalking laws. Schaeffer was shot in the chest by Robert John Bardo on July 18, 1989, after he obtained her address through a private investigator who used California DMV records. Bardo had been obsessed with Schaeffer for years. She died at the scene. She was buried at Ahavath Achim Cemetery in Portland, Oregon, her hometown. Bardo was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Schaeffer's murder led to California passing the first anti-stalking legislation in the country in 1990. Her murder at just 21 robbed the entertainment world of a rising talent. Judy Garland was buried after she died from barbiturate overdose in June 1969 at age 47. The legendary actress and singer found dead in the bathroom of her London home by her 5th husband, Mickey Deans, on June 22, 1969. The coroner ruled her death was an accidental overdose of barbiturates. Her body was flown back to the United States for funeral services at Frank E. Campbell Funeral Chapel in New York City, with an estimated 20,000 fans lining up to pay respects. She was originally buried at Ferncliff Cemetery, but in 2017, her remains were moved to Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles, at the request of her daughter, Liza Minnelli. Garland's death was attributed to decades of prescription drug abuse that began when MGM studio executives gave her amphetamines and barbiturates as a child star. Dorothy Dandridge was buried after she died from antidepressant overdose in September 1965 at age 42. The first African-American woman nominated for a Best Actress Oscar, laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale. Dandridge was discovered on September 8, 1965, by her manager with the death ruled as either suicide or accidental overdose from tofranil. She had been suffering from depression and financial problems. Her funeral at the Little Church of the Flowers was attended by friends and colleagues. Dandridge had made history with her 1955 Oscar nomination for Carmen Jones, becoming the first Black actress nominated in the lead category. After her Oscar nomination, Hollywood offered her few quality roles. She was cremated and her ashes scattered at Forest Lawn, though a cenotaph marks her memory. Carole Lombard was buried after she died in a plane crash in January 1942 at age 33. The beloved screwball comedy star, killed when TWA Flight 3 crashed into Mount Potosi near Las Vegas while she was returning from a war bonds tour. Lombard, her mother Elizabeth Peters, and publicist Otto Winkler were among 22 people killed when the plane slammed into the mountain on January 16, 1942. Her husband, Clark Gable, rushed to the crash site and was devastated. Lombard's funeral was held at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, with Gable so distraught he could barely function. Yet she was entombed in the Great Mausoleum, with Gable later buried beside her when he died in 1960. Her death made her a symbol of wartime sacrifice, with a Liberty ship named in her honor. Jayne Mansfield was buried after she died in a car crash in June 1967 at age 34. The blonde bombshell actress decapitated when her Buick Electra slammed into the rear of a tractor trailer on US Highway 90 near New Orleans. Mansfield was traveling with her boyfriend Sam Brody, her driver Ronnie Harrison, and 3 of her children, including 3-year-old Mariska Hargitay. The car hit the trailer at high speed around 2:25 a.m. on June 29, 1967, instantly killing Mansfield, Brody, and Harrison, while the children survived. The gruesome accident led to the creation of Mansfield bars, the underride guards now required on the large trucks. Her funeral was held at Pentangle Hills Crematory Chapel in Penn Argyl, Pennsylvania. She was buried at Fairview Cemetery, and her pink marble heart-shaped monument reading, "We live to love you more each day." Stay with us as we continue exploring where Hollywood's brightest stars rest. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Anna Nicole Smith was buried after she died from drug overdose in February 2007 at age 39. The model and reality TV star laid to rest at Lakeview Memorial Gardens in Nassau, Bahamas, next to her son Daniel, who had died 5 months earlier. A. Smith was found unresponsive in her room at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel in Hollywood, Florida, on February 8, 2007. The medical examiner determined she died from combined drug intoxication. The custody battle over where to bury Smith was highly publicized. She was finally buried in the Bahamas on March 2, 2007, in a funeral attended by a small group. Smith was interred next to Daniel in a mother-son grave. Her life had been controversial and tabloid fodder, from her marriage to 89-year-old billionaire J. Howard Marshall to years of legal battles over his estate. Dominique Dunne was buried after she was murdered in November 1982 at age 22. The actress from Poltergeist, strangled to death by her ex-boyfriend John Thomas Sweeney outside her West Hollywood home. On October 30th, 1982, Sweeney came to Dunne's home where he strangled her in the driveway, leaving her in a coma. She died on November 4th, 1982, at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center after being removed from life support. She was buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery. Sweeney was convicted only of voluntary manslaughter and served just 2.5 years in prison. Dominique Dunne had appeared in Poltergeist, 1982, released just months before her death. Her murder became a rallying cry for domestic violence awareness. Her father, Dominique Dunne, became an advocate for victims' rights. Heather O'Rourke was buried after she died from septic shock in February 1988 at age 12. The child star from the Poltergeist film series succumbing to complications from an undiagnosed intestinal abnormality. O'Rourke had been suffering from flu-like symptoms and had been misdiagnosed with Crohn's disease when she actually had a congenital stenosis of the intestine. On February 1st, 1988, she collapsed at her home and died during surgery at Children's Hospital San Diego. And her funeral was held at Westwood Village Memorial Park Mortuary, with services attended by her mother, stepfather, sister, and cast members from Poltergeist. She was buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery. Her death was compounded by the so-called Poltergeist curse. O'Rourke had appeared in all 3 Poltergeist films. Her mother later became an advocate for awareness of intestinal disorders in children. River Phoenix was buried after he died from drug overdose in October 1993 at age 23. The acclaimed young actor collapsing outside the Viper Room nightclub on the Sunset Strip in front of his brother, Joaquin, and sister Rain. Phoenix had been at the club on October 30th, 1993, when he started convulsing on the sidewalk after consuming a lethal combination of cocaine and heroin. His brother Joaquin made a frantic 911 call. Phoenix was transported to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. He was cremated and his ashes scattered at the family's ranch in Macanopy, Florida. Phoenix's death shocked Hollywood and his legions of fans who had watched him grow up on screen in Stand By Me, Running on Empty, My Own Private Idaho, and Sneakers. He had been considered one of the most talented actors of his generation. Lucy Gordon was buried after she died by suicide in May 2009 at age 28. Or the British actress and model who appeared in Spider-Man 3, found hanging in her Paris apartment just 2 days before her 29th birthday. Gordon left behind 2 suicide notes before taking her own life on May 20th, 2009. She was buried in England following funeral services attended by family, friends, and colleagues. Gordon had been working as both an actress and model in France and had appeared in The Four Feathers and Serendipity. Her career had been on the rise with increasing recognition in French cinema. The circumstances of her death led to discussions about depression and mental health in the entertainment industry. Jennifer Syme was buried after she died in a car crash in April 2001 at age 28. The actress and David Lynch's assistant laid to rest at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery after her Jeep struck 3 parked cars on Cahuenga Boulevard. Syme lost control of her vehicle around 6 a.m. on April 2nd, 2001, was partially ejected, and died at the scene. Investigation revealed she had been under the influence of alcohol and prescription medications. Syme's death came 18 months after the stillbirth of her daughter, Ava Archer Syme Reeves, in December 1999, whose father was actor Keanu Reeves. She was buried at Westwood Memorial Park, with Reeves serving as a pallbearer. Syme had worked as Lynch's personal assistant and appeared in small roles in Lost Highway and Pulp Fiction. Inger Stevens was buried after she died from barbiturate overdose in April 1970 at age 35. The Swedish-American actress found dead in her Hollywood Hills home by her friend. Stevens was discovered on April 30th at 1970. With the death ruled as suicide by barbiturate poisoning, though her friend maintained it was accidental. Stevens had struggled with depression throughout her life, with 2 previous suicide attempts, despite outward success starring in The Farmer's Daughter and films like Hang 'em High. Her funeral was held at the Old North Church in Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills. She was cremated and her ashes scattered. Stevens had been one of television's biggest stars in the 1960s, but struggled with personal demons. Pier Angeli was buried after she died from barbiturate overdose. In September 1971, at age 39, the Italian-born actress found dead in her Beverly Hills home. Her death ruled suicide, though some suspected accidental overdose. Angeli, born Anna Maria Pier Angeli, had been a rising star in the 1950s, appearing in Teresa, 1951, for which she won a Golden Globe. She had been romantically involved with James Dean before her career declined in the 1960s, leading to depression and financial problems. Her funeral was held at the Church of the Good Shepherd in Beverly Hills. She was buried at Ruston Cemetery in California. Angeli's death was attributed to depression over her declining career, failed marriages, and financial difficulties. Grace Kelly was buried after she died from injuries sustained in a car crash in September 1982 at age 52. The Oscar-winning actress turned Princess of Monaco laid to rest in the Grimaldi family vault at St. Nicholas Cathedral in Monaco. Kelly suffered a stroke while driving on September 13, 1982, causing her Rover to plunge down a mountainside with her daughter Princess Stephanie as passenger. She died the following day from her injuries. Her funeral on September 18, 1982, was attended by dignitaries, royalty, and Hollywood stars, with over 100 million people watching worldwide. Kelly was interred in the cathedral crypt next to Prince Rainier III, whom she married in 1956 after retiring from her film career. She had won the Best Actress Oscar for The Country Girl and starred in Hitchcock classics including Rear Window. Frances Farmer was buried after she died from esophageal cancer in August 1970 at age 56. The troubled actress, whose life was marked by forced institutionalization, laid to rest at Oaklawn Memorial Gardens in Indianapolis following cremation. Farmer had been a promising actress in the 1930s and 1940s, but her career was derailed by mental illness, alcoholism, and 7 years in psychiatric institutions where she allegedly underwent brutal treatments. After her release, she rebuilt a modest career in television, but never regained her former prominence. She died on August 1st, 1970 in Indianapolis. Her funeral was private. She was cremated, and her ashes scattered at Oaklawn Memorial Gardens. Farmer's tragic life story inspired the 1982 film Frances, starring Jessica Lange. Gail Russell was buried after she died from alcoholism in August 1961 at age 36. The beautiful actress found dead alone in her Los Angeles apartment, surrounded by empty vodka bottles. Russell had struggled with severe social anxiety and stage fright throughout her career, turning to alcohol to cope. She was discovered on August 27, 1961, having died days earlier. The coroner determined she died from natural causes, related to years of heavy drinking that had destroyed her liver. Her funeral was sparsely attended. She was buried at Valhalla Memorial Park Cemetery in North Hollywood. Russell had appeared in films like The Uninvited, 1944, and Angel and the Bad Man, 1947, opposite John Wayne, but her alcoholism led to declining roles and professional blacklisting. If you're moved by these tragic stories, subscribe to our channel to keep these Hollywood legends' memories alive. Hedy Lamarr was buried after she died from heart disease in January 2000 at age 85. The legendary beauty and inventor laid to rest in Vienna, Austria, her ashes scattered in the Vienna woods per her wishes. Lamarr had been a major Hollywood star in the 1930s and 1940s, known as the most beautiful woman in the world. But she was also a brilliant inventor who co-developed spread-spectrum technology during World War II, the basis for modern Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth, though she received no recognition until late in life. She died in Castleberry, Florida, living in seclusion in her final years. Her memorial in Vienna celebrated both her acting career and her scientific achievements. Linda Darnell was buried after she died in a house fire in April 1965 at age 41. The film noir actress succumbing to burns sustained when flames engulfed the Chicago area home where she was staying. Darnell had been watching one of her old films on television on April 9, 1965, when fire broke out. She attempted to escape but was trapped and suffered severe burns over 90% of her body. She died the next day at Cook County Hospital. Her funeral was held in Los Angeles. She was buried at Union Hill Cemetery in Chester County, Pennsylvania. Darnell had been a major star in the 1940s and early 1950s in films like Forever Amber and A Letter to Three Wives, but her career declined as she aged and struggled with alcoholism. Barbara Payton was buried after she died from heart and liver failure in May 1967 at age 39. The film noir actress, who had descended into prostitution and alcoholism, found dead in her parents' San Diego home. Payton had been a rising star in the early 1950s, appearing in Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye with James Cagney. But her career was destroyed by scandals involving her relationships with actors Franchot Tone and Tom Neal. After Hollywood rejected her, Payton spiraled into prostitution, living on Skid Row in Los Angeles. She died on May 8, 1967. Her funeral was small and private. She was buried at San Fernando Mission Cemetery in Los Angeles. Payton's autobiography, I Am Not Ashamed, detailed her fall from Hollywood glamour to degradation. Susan Peters was buried after she died from chronic kidney infection in October 1952 at age 31. The Oscar-nominated actress who had been paralyzed from the waist down since a 1945 hunting accident. Peters had been a rising MGM star, nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Random Harvest, 1942, when she was accidentally shot during a hunting trip, severing her spinal cord. She attempted to continue her career in a wheelchair, but struggled with depression. She died on October 23rd. In 1952, at Cedars of Lebanon Hospital, with the official cause listed as chronic kidney infection and complications from malnutrition. Her funeral was attended by Hollywood figures. She was buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale. Peg Entwistle was buried after she died by suicide in September 1932 at age 24, the struggling actress who jumped to her death from the letter H of the Hollywood sign. Entwistle had appeared in only one film, 13 Women, 1932, that which had been poorly received. Despondent over her failed film career, she hiked to the Hollywood sign on September 16, 1932, and jumped from the 50-foot tall letter. She left a suicide note reading, "I am afraid, I am a coward, I am sorry for everything." Her body was found 2 days later. Her funeral was held at W.M. Strather Mortuary. She was cremated and her ashes buried at Oak Hill Cemetery in Glendale, Ohio. Ironically, a letter offering her a role in a play arrived at her home the day after her death. Marie Prevost was buried after she died from malnutrition and alcoholism in January 1937 at age 38. The silent film star found dead in her Hollywood apartment, her body partially consumed by her dachshund after she had been deceased for several days. Prevost had been a major star in silent comedies in the 1920s, but struggled to transition to sound films. Her career declined in the early 1930s. And she turned to alcohol while desperately dieting, with the combination of malnutrition and drinking destroying her health. She died alone on January 21, 1937, in her apartment at 6230 Afton Place. When police found her body days later, her dog had been trying to wake her. Her funeral was paid for by Joan Crawford. She was buried at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Her grave was unmarked for decades until fans raised money for a proper headstone. These 30 actresses who died young remind us that behind the glamour of Hollywood are real people facing real struggles, their final resting places now serving as memorials to lives that burned brightly but briefly, leaving indelible marks on cinema and popular culture, despite being taken from us far too soon.